Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the CPC Season 8, and we have our week number 2 match. We're facing off against our good buddy Blitzberg, coach of the Toronto Tyranitars. So, Blitz has this very scary squad: Megaladios, Cartana, Togekiss, Suicune, Donphan, Conqueror, Alolan Muk, Staraptor, Chestnut, Steelix, and the Whirlipede. So, despite having all sorts of threats, he mixed it up really well and was still able to get 11 Pokemon. Really, really fantastic. Whereas a lot of other teams are really top heavy. His Z move users are Kartana and Jolteon. And we have the same team from week 1 and the draft analysis. We have Landorus Therian, Megacharizard X, Superior, Tentacruel, Sylveon, Stakataka, Oricorio, Fortress, Miltank, Alakazam, Pangoro, and Electrode, where our Z-move users are Landorus Therian and the Electrode. And for this match, we've decided to bring Landorus Therian, Megacharizard X, Superior, Tentacruel, Stakataka, and Oricorio. And well, let's explain why. So we've got a Landorus Therian here. We have a Jolly Nature able to outpace things like Togekiss. And we have, this is our designated Stealth Rocker. Can not necessarily, well, it's a solid lead and just automatically get rocks up unless he leads with something like Megalodi, which could pack the Ice Beam, or Suicune, which could also pack the Ice Beam. Otherwise, we can stay in versus everything else, take any one hit. If he was to lead off versus the Conqueror, we could just throw off a Z-Fly, blow that thing away. Also pack an Earthquake and Rock Polish so that we can outpace things like the Lottie, Kartana, and potentially a Staraptor or a Scarf Raptor with the rock polish there, so that's really nice. Next up, we've got an Adamant Natured Megacharizard X. This is more of a defensive variant with Roost and Will-O-Wisp with Flare Blitz and Dragon Claw. 248 HP, 32 defense EVs, 200 speed investment to, again, outpace the Togekiss and everything that's slower. All except, I believe, Staraptor, Kartana, and the Megalodios, and then Dragon Claw and Flare Blitz hits his entire team for at least neutral damage. Next up, we've got Superior, switches into Suicune really well, Donphan really well, things like that, even Chestnut to an extent, and the Steelix, and can throw off powerful Leaf Storms and immediately start boosting up. We've got Dragon Pulse and Hidden Power Fire as well. Debated on Giga Drain over Synthesis, but ultimately decided that Synthesis would be our move of choice, so that we could always get back up to a good amount of HP on any kind of force outs when we force something like Suicune or Donphan out on the switch there and Synthesis up as he goes into something like Cart or Togekiss or even Conqueror or something like that. Next up, we have a Sugarberry Tentacruel. Allows us to switch in on the Donphan and Rapid Spin if he decides to go that route. We do have enough speed investment, I believe, to also outpace the Togekiss, Suicune, Donphan, basically everything not named Megalodios, Kartana, and the Staraptor. We've got a Bold Nature with Scald and Ice Beam, pretty self-explanatory there, with Rapid Spin and Haze being to remove stat changes from things like Suicune, and even the Alolan Muk, which is really nice. We have Stakataka with the Focus Sash. Could be a potential lead, depending on what he brings, but if he doesn't bring Donphan, this is more than likely going to be our lead. If he does bring Donphan, we'll lead something else. And Stakataka has Trick Room, Stone Edge, Gyro Ball, and Toxic. Toxic there for the Suicune, the Donphan, and obviously things like Conqueror and Steelix, things that we can't really touch. Well, obviously not Steelix. Steelix being a Steel type can't be poisoned. And like I said, Trick Room. So if the late game comes down to things like Scarf Cart or Scarf Staraptor, Trick Room could very well be a viable option for me to set up something in a really, really solid position. Oricorio is a bold-natured variant with max HP, max speed, and a little bit of defense investment. Able to outpace the Togekiss with this investment. Taunt, Revelation Dance, Hurricane, and Roost. This thing switches into Togekiss all day long, switches into Chestnut. It forces those Pokemon out as well. It forces Suicune out. Gets big damage on things like Donphan and Togekiss. Even the Kartana gets blown away by Hurricane. So it's really nice. It serves as a Zapdos sort of type Pokemon in this matchup, except we have super effective Hurricanes, well, not super effective, but Stab Hurricanes, which is really, really fantastic, and Taunt. So that's going to be really nice in this match, and that's going to be the team, and we can go ahead and hop into the replay now and see what happens. Alright, so here we are with the replay, and my opponent's chosen to bring the Megalodios, Staraptor, Alolan Muck, Suicune, Kartana, and the Donphin. So really scary squad, but we're not seeing things like, shoot, I was about to say the Alolan Muck, but we see that right there on the screen. But we don't see Togekiss, we don't see Conkeldurr, we don't see Chestnut or Steelix. I didn't expect the Whirlipede, but yeah, some key Pokemon we don't see there. But he brings a lot of threats. Suicune's really solid in this matchup, especially if he can weaken or eliminate Serp. So I would say that would be his game plan, and it looks like he's brought a pretty decent squad to try to combat something like Serp with the Alolan Muck, potentially a Choice Scarf Staraptor, and the Megalodios. So let's go ahead and hop into the match here. His only potential Stealth Rocker in this match is going to be the Donphin, and it's going to be his only means of hazards, period. So in terms of removal, he has plenty of removal in this match. 3 Defog Mons, being the 2 bird-like Mons on the left, Megalodios and the Staraptor. The Kartana also gets Defog, and Donphin with the Rabbit Spin. So let's go ahead and hop into the match. That being said, he's probably going to lead off with his Donphin, as he can get rocks up as well as removing rocks at the same time. He does lead with Donphin. As I lead off with my Landers, I get the Intimidate off, and I go hard into my Tentacruel, knowing that I will be able to just Rapid Spin these rocks away, and potentially get a Scald Burn on whatever wants to come in. He goes out into his Alolan Muck, goes for the knockoff, knocks my Sugar Berry off, and does nearly half. Does a little bit over half, actually. So, I go into my Landers, he pulls a switch out into his Megalodios as I go in, or he goes for the Dragon Pulse as I pull a switch into my Stakataka. Throw off a Toxic here, expecting his Suicune or Donphin to come in. Pretty safe play for me, as I can go back into my Landers and get an Intimidate off on this Donphin, as he just decides to get his rocks back up. So I'm going to double into my Tentacruel, because I want to remove these rocks, and it also covered the Ice Shard play. So what I'm going to do now is Rapid Spin. Had he Calm Mind or anything like that, I could just haze on the following turn. And yeah, I don't know if he baited my Stakataka to come in there and went into his Kartana, but he did go into his Megalodios, forced me into my Stakataka, and he doubled into his Kartana. And he goes for the knockoff here, expecting me to potentially switch out, and I do switch out, and going into my Serp, he gets rid of my item, but I can just Synthesis up and then hard switch accordingly as he brings in his Alolan Muck. Once again, he does not knock off an item, but he gets the poison on my Landers, which is really unfortunate. It's going to come back to be a huge hindrance in the game. As my opponent does pull a switch into Suicune here, I'm going to pull a switch out to Superior after I've gotten my Stealth Rocks up, and he doesn't get a burn, so thankfully I've got that going for me at least. Here I throw off a Leaf Storm, but of course I'm going to miss, and yeah, it just puts me in the back even further. Expecting my switch out, he pulls a switch into his Donphin, as he does get that right. I'm going to be forced out into my Tentacruel once again, as this time he just decides to Rapid Spin. I'm sure just wanting to get rid of rocks altogether. I'm going to go for Ice Beam, expecting the Megalodios or the Kartana to come in, and I get that right as well, so that's really nice for me. But here I go out to my Stakataka, as he's more than likely going to click Psychic or Dragon Pulse or something like that. And I get that right as well. So predicting him to switch out here into Suicune or the Donphin, I'm going to go out into my Oricorio, and I get that right as well. And here I'm going to taunt the Donphin and prevent it from getting Stealth Rocks up, and I'm going to start spamming Hurricane. So we land the first one, nice 20% there. Unfortunate that we've missed Leaf Storm on this bad boy already. Fortunately though, we can go back into our Landers here, and we're going to get our Stealth Rocks up. And now there's a potential to knock him out here with the Supersonic Sky Strike, so I'm going to go for it and see if we can knock him out here. He may survive. He does survive, and he gets the Rapid Spin off, which is able to knock me out, and he removes rocks on his side of the field. But it is a double down, and here I go immediately into my Stakataka, as I cannot let Staraptor come in. And to scout for close combat, I go out into my Oricorio, but my opponent just U-turns out, so really nice play by him there. As I'm forced out here, he brings in his Alolan Muck, forces me out to my Charizard, and I'm just going to Mega Evolve, and I believe throw off a Flare Blitz. I'm just trying to weaken the Alolan Muck, because if I weaken the Alolan Muck, Serp can put in the work if Staraptor is not Choice Scarfed. So yeah, just gonna roost up here. I think he went for Scald, and now he goes for the Calm Mind. So this is where things are gonna get actually really scary, thanks to his pressure ability. I'm forced to go for the Leaf Storm, and he's able to switch out there into the Star Raptor and just U-turn out. Once again, starting this momentum cycle that I'm just gonna have a hard time breaking. But luckily, I do have a little bit of a defensive backbone left still, so I'm just going to roost up here with my Oricorio as he got rid of my item with his Kartana. Kartana, I believe, has only just been clicking knockoff every time it's coming in. And here I'm going to try to switch things up a little bit. I go straight into Stack Attack, I go straight for the Trick Room and immediately hard switch into my Zard on his Kartana, trying to turn the tables a little bit or something like that. But he's just able to get all the plays right. As he went into his Suicune, I'm forced into my Superior, and here I'm almost out of Leaf Storms. So this is coming down to the wire here in terms of Superior going to be able to finish this match for me or not. So I do go for the Revelation Dance there. Gets a little bit of chip on me, a little muck. I'm going to go hard into my Zard once again, as he's easily going to be able to go back into his Coon. But I am going to take this as an opportunity to roost up and then hard switch back into my Superior, as my opponent goes for the Calm Mind. So here he clicks Protect, as I go for the Synthesis, predicting his Protect there. And I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm on this turn, as my opponent actually reveals the Roar. So that's really nice prep on his part. And here I'm going to click Haze, remove his stat changes, as my opponent just goes for the Scald there, hoping that perhaps I didn't have Haze or Toxic or anything like that. So yeah, using his pressure to his ability, nice Protect set here, able to take control. I do hard switch into my Oricorio, forcing him to go into his Mega Latios. He throws off a Dragon Pulse as I go into my Stack Attack, and finally I'm 2-hit KO'd that beast. That is a beast of a Pokemon. Here though, I go out into my Serp, force him out to his Alolan Muck, predicting his Alolan Muck to come in. I double out into my Charizard, and here he's going to go back into his Suicune, as I believe I just throw off a Will-O-Wisp, trying to burn the Alolan Muck, or whatever he wanted to swap in. He does switch in the Suicune, and it doesn't give me too much, but yeah, I'm just going to go into my Tentacruel to make sure that he doesn't have a Calm Mind up, and I can go into Superior easier. Unfortunately, he gets the burn on me, and it's going to end up taking me out there after he's able to easily protect up. Here, I go for the Hurricane. 2 Hurricanes would have knocked him out based on that damage and the damage that Revelation Dance did earlier. So I went for Hurricane to catch the Mega Latios upon switching. Unfortunately, I missed, and now he's able to basically 1v1 my Oricorio as well. And now I'm in range of anything on his squad. He's able to revenge kill me with the Mega Latios. I go into my Superior here. I'm going to throw off a Dragon Pulse, I believe. Get a crit on the Star Raptor. Not going to be enough, as he is just going to be able to go for the Brave Bird here. Fortunately for me, he is going to drop to the Recoil. So the game's coming down to the wire, actually. He goes out to his Mega Latios here, and I am going to click the Dragon Pulse. Do a nice 31% there. And he goes for Dragon Pulse of his own, not being able to 2-hit KO me. And yeah, I get a nice knockout on him there. I'm outpaced the Kartana as well, and bring this down to a 1v1. So Superior coming through clutch here. After all the RNG that we suffered, we were able to pick up a crit. I don't think his Mega Latios would have been able to 2-hit KO us anyway, so we would have been able to pick up a knockout regardless. And as long as we did outpace the cart, then it didn't really matter that we got the crit, unless he was able to 2-hit KO us. So fortunately, it ends up not mattering because he wasn't able to 2-hit KO us. We do outpace the Kartana, so he didn't need to put us in range of anything at 1% or anything like that, if he got another 50% roll there. And we were able to knock out Kartana, and now it comes down to this 1v1 with Superior versus Suicune. I have 2 Leaf Storms left, but Suicune's pressure will take both of those away on one click. He has already revealed Protect. So my play here is to click Synthesis, predicting his Protect. Because if he does not protect, he loses. He loses the match. If I get a Leaf Storm off, I will more than likely win the match with the +2 boost and having Dragon Pulse and Synthesis to go from there, and he has no form of recovery plus the burn. So it looks like I should win this match. So I'm just going to Synthesis up here on his Protect. Oh, excuse me. Okay, well, let me rethink this through. So I went for the Leaf Storm. Why did I go for the Leaf Storm? My play was to Synthesis. Oh, okay. Predicting Blitz to predict me to Synthesis on his Protect, which is the obvious play. I went for the Leaf Storm. But Blitz made the extremely safe play, and it's going to win him the game, because at this point I'm not able to beat this Suicune, and it's able to Calm Mind too many times and eventually able to break through my superior. So yeah, despite all of the game, I did bring it back to where I had a chance. We had a nice 50-50 at the end there, and I'm going to, I believe, Synthesis up here, have the Dragon Pulse on this turn, and he is able to knock me out on turn 81, and my man Blitz is able to pick up a nice 1-0 victory there. A little bit unfortunate, but that's the game of Pokemon sometimes. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.